Don't stop.
Thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay podcast. I got my Sunday look on if you're watching this in video. No contacts on, a hat because I haven't even brushed my hair this morning. And I'm just doing a few intros for my podcast. So I had a busy week this week recording podcast. And how many did I record this week? I did 5 interviews this week. And I'm starting to slow down because now I have too much of a backlog. But I love doing podcasts and I love interviewing people and I love meeting new people. And this week I met some really interesting people. One of the people that I interviewed surprised me because kind of going back to what I've talked about in previous podcasts where I have all types of music that I love. And I grew up in Miami and I've said this 1,000 times if you listen to my other shows, or my other episodes, I loved Two Live Crew. They were the group that I loved growing up because I grew up in Miami and, you know, you would not think this white kid in Miami would like Two Live Crew, but I loved them. And I loved Uncle Luke and I loved all their songs that I can probably sing all their songs without lyrics in front of me. Like I just know all the songs. And I think all my friends probably know the songs too, because that's what we grew up on. And, there were other, there's other types of music, obviously, that I love. Like I like country music too. Like I like Dolly Parton. I love Madonna. So I like all types of music and jazz. And, I've talked about this before about the types of music I like. But the difference between like East Coast and West Coast rap, there is a huge difference. And the Miami rap music with Uncle Luke and Two Live Crew, that was a completely different genre than anything else. But you had Biggie, and on the East Coast, and everybody loves Biggie Small and loves his songs. But then on the West Coast, you had Tupac, and I didn't really love Tupac's songs. I mean, I guess I know a few of them. But then you had Snoop, who I liked until he became a Trumper and couldn't answer a question to his grandchild about gay people. I mean, it's like, you live in California. Like, did you smoke too much to not know what to say? I mean, he's disappointing. And Eazy-E, I love Eazy-E. And he was another rapper that I grew up with and knowing every lyric to all his songs and stuff. And unfortunately, he died, I think in the 90s. He got AIDS and died, unfortunately. And I thought he was so talented. And the movie that they did with him in the early 2000s, I guess, I was living in New York, and I remember I went to go see that movie by myself. It was the first time I ever went to a movie by myself because I wanted to go. And it was about the whole West Coast rap scene. What was the name of that movie? But they had Eazy-E in it. And, oh, God, I love that movie. I've watched it 1,000 times. I can't remember the name of it. But it's an awesome movie. And Eazy-E was just so talented, and he was great, and he was gangster, and but he had amazing talent. And my guest that I had on today worked with one of the DJs that worked with Eazy-E, which I thought was really cool. And he said he heard some stories kind of about the whole Eazy-E and that whole life and stuff, and he wouldn't talk about it because he's like, I listened to it, and I'm going to bring it to the grave with me, basically, he said. But I would love to hear like what he heard in the studio when he was with this producer or this DJ who worked with Eazy-E. And he said he heard some amazing stories. And then this guy's name is Dylan Garcia, who is doing music, and he started singing one of his songs on my show that you're going to hear today. And I'm like, oh my God, I know that song. And so I did research on him before he came on my show, which I do with all my guests. But I guess I didn't realize who he actually was until we got into the interview. And he sung a couple of lyrics of one of his songs, and he started talking about some other songs. I'm like, oh my God, I know this guy. And I don't know why I should be surprised, but like, yeah, he's a very talented guy. He was so authentic. I love the fact that he was talking. He's so open about his mental health. He talked about, discovering he was bipolar and and he does it for awareness, for people. And he was just a great guy and super talented. And I just love hearing his story on how he got to where he is and how successful he is. And he's going to really be something. And he's on his way there to be even bigger than he already is. So enjoy my interview with Dylan, because I thought he was fantastic, and I hope you think he is as well. Also, go to the description of this video or this podcast and check out his music, because I bet you know some of his songs too. So enjoy the episode. Thanks so much for joining me on the Everything and Anything in a Bit Gay podcast. Today I have a brand new guest, and we're going to get into everything that he is about. He's about a lot. So welcome to the show, Dylan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me, Zach. This guy wants to say hi to you.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Marlo.
Marlo, cool.
Yeah.
Is he helping you kind of in your creative process?
You know what? He's actually in all of my music videos. He's
really
in all of the music videos from when we first got him. I was shooting a video. This was in 2020. 2020. Yeah, in 2020 we were shooting or 2021 we were shooting a video in Van Nuys in LA. I had like a warehouse rented, and it was like all white in the background. I had this like really cool like 67 Chevy Impala come, and we had it parked, and I had like the girls dancing, and I'm doing my song, and we did. But 15 minutes before we started shooting, my wife took him off the leash because he was still new, but like we were building trust, and like she felt trustworthy enough, and literally like he saw somebody and he just took off. And I'm chasing him right there in Van Nuys, dude. And there's cars running by, and I'm literally running, and he's at least 40, 50, 60 yards in front of me.
Did you think he was gone?
And he darted across the street because he was abandoned. I don't know how long he was on the streets before we took him in. So he still had those street instincts. And when he darted across the street, and I see a car coming, I'm like, holy shit, dude, my dog is about to get killed right before we shoot this music video. Like, this is so messed up. Like, I'm thinking the worst. And then the car passes by, and he's just standing on the sidewalk on the other side of the street, just like waiting, like, why'd you come get me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, oh my God. So that's how we almost started shooting that video that day. And this is when we fairly got him. This guy's pretty homebound now, dude. This guy can't even catch lizards anymore. He's lost all his sense of being on the streets, and he's all home. He's home broken. He's broken with the home, and he's a good guy. But he's been in all the videos. I bring him with me everywhere you go, dude. I mean, I'm bipolar, and he's my emotional support animal.
Awesome. Yeah. Tell me, so you started back in 2009 with music, right? Is that how long it's been?
Well, no, I started playing guitar in college, and I played a little bit of saxophone in junior high school. But 2009, when it was like the reality that like, whoa, I think I might be able to like take this from a hobby, from a dream to like, start playing shows and form a band and do stuff. And that's kind of when it all started happening, was in 2009. I was doing a lot of stuff in my hometown, a lot of acoustic shows, like at the local pub by the beach, and then I had gotten an opportunity to come work for this HVAC contractor doing this like technical computer work where it's like I'm controlling commercial buildings HVAC systems by a laptop.
Okay.
And so he moved me to Orange County, back to Newport Beach, and Newport. At the time, reggae wasn't that big of a sound back in my hometown. I was kind of like the only one doing it. Like, what, reggae? Now it's really popular back home. But in Orange County, that's where like Sublime's from. It was like a scene already that was already accepting to the type of music that I was doing. There was already a scene for it. And I remember moving out there when I moved, because I was living on my cousin's couch. So I went from couch surfing, basically homeless, to getting my boss moved me, got me an apartment, everything. Like, and before I left, I said, cuz I'm going to move down to Orange County, dude, and I'm going to form a band. And I swear to God, bro, I'm going to get a record deal. And literally exactly how I told them before I left, literally how it kind of unfolded. Like, not with the band, like everything just kind of unfolded that way. It was like I was manifesting destiny, before I even knew it. But it was just because I was always able to visualize like what I wanted out of life,
That's awesome. And do you believe in manifestation then? So
man, I feel like my whole Even like I even try to manifest things. Like that song we were shooting the video for back in 2021, that song was about me seeing my name on the marquee on Sunset Boulevard at the Whiskey A Go Go. 2023, I'm performed at the Whiskey A Go Go 3 times 2 years later.
Wow, that's
Like
amazing.
the chorus of the song goes, I'm whipping down the strip on Sunset. I paid my dues. I've earned my respect. Yeah, I'm climbing my way to the top. And it's gonna stay that. And that whole song, when I was writing that song, when we were in the studio creating that song, I had that visualization, like driving down, Sunset Boulevard, passing all the venues and like seeing my name on a marquee, like feeling like, dude, like I made it, and
Yeah.
that's kind of how we did the video too. And sure enough, 2 years later, I'm doing a bunch of things at the Whiskey, man. I opened for Afro Man, RBL Posse, and then headlined.
Who would you want to work with if you could work with anybody right now?
Oh,
Like no boundaries. Like
no boundary.
yeah, like no boundaries. They could be as famous as you want or not famous. Like who would you want to work with?
With Neil Young.
Oh wow.
Neil Young. Oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Oh man, that song is like one of the soundtrack of my entire life. That song.
So your music's kind of evolved from reggae though now. So
Right.
tell me what that journey's been like and how you kind of brought in the new sounds and kind of new everything.
I was kind of like 2018. I was doing like rap. I put like this rap album, and I was trying to figure out who I was. I had just got my mental health restored after like 9 years, trying to like figure out what off and on with different medications and trying to figure out what works. So I went from like 9 years of trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Excuse my language. Finally getting my mental health restored, and I'm like, oh my god, I got to learn how to live again. And the only way I felt like I could. The only way I felt like I could move forward was if I was expressing everything in music. That's always how I expressed myself, was through music, and I could probably express myself better in a song than I probably could in a face-to-face conversation, know? So COVID hits, and I wasn't really like, I was doing music, but I wasn't really, and I got my like mental health, and I was working at the Holiday Inn as a front desk, working at the hotel, and like, kind of doing some songs, but not really. I was like devoted to the job. Like, you start making money, and, money will take your mind off your dream because you start getting used to that paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm starting to do music less and less. And then boom, COVID happens. And like, I'm working at a hotel. It's like, and I quit my job. I was like, dude, you guys aren't protecting us. We got these like international scientists coming from all over the world to have these weekly meetings, and people were coming in with the mask, and nobody knew what was going on. And this is like, we're in California, and you see people with masks. You're like, you only see that shit on the news. Like, or you only see that in Asia, you wouldn't see it. Like, it wasn't a normal thing. And once I saw someone with the mask, I told manager, I said, what are you guys doing to protect us, man? Like, there's no hands, like nothing. There was nothing. And I said, you guys are this is too much. And it was like, right. I quit like literally 3 days after my grandpa died. Like, my grandpa passed away, like his funeral was like the day before the shutdown.
Did he have COVID?
No, he passed away. He had like COPD.
Okay.
He was older, man. My grandpa was a G. He was like the patriarch of the family, man.
Yeah.
And then it was like, we got unemployment kicked in. Like, I was able to get unemployment, like they were just giving out unemployment to everybody at that time, and I got unemployment. They shut down where my wife was working at. They shut down the factory that she was working at. So like, we were both just at home, and I had this one tune that I came up with on guitar, like this whole song on guitar. And she says, and I had a recording studio. I had like the rinky dink little recording studio, not what it is now. And she said, hey, got all this time in your hand. Why don't you go all in with music? And I was like, you're right. And so then I reach out to my producer. I reach out to the guy that I was in a band with back in Newport Beach. I reach out to my producer, hey, I got this song, man. Let's all work remote, because everyone was freaked out. Nobody wanted to go around each other.
Yeah.
So I had the whole, I recorded the whole song at home on the acoustic, and it was a vibe, man. The song was called It's a Beautiful Day. And so it took about a month to come around. And then I had the song A Beautiful Day. And There was a couple, yeah, that one. And then I did another song called Summer Love. And at that time, I had extra money. So I said, shoot, I'm going to get a publicist. So I got a publicist and nobody knew what to do. Like it was all, everything was going on Zoom again. And like,
Yep.
so next thing I got a publicist and they're pitching me as a surf rocker, the surf rocker. Because I surfed in my lifetime. I've been to North Shore, you know, I've traveled. Surfing was a big part of my life and a part of why I play guitar. So I'm doing the guitar thing. And then little by little things start opening up. And one of the breweries in Ventura, back in my hometown, was started doing outdoor shows, you know, outdoor shows at the brewery, and you know, social distancing and all that stuff.
Yep.
But they were one of the first ones doing it, and they asked me to come perform. And there was a kid, shout out to Jaden Secor, man. I love that kid, dude. We were working, we would have these writing sessions during COVID. Like nobody knew we were getting together, him and I. He was only like maybe like barely turned 18, and I'm already like, you know, like in my late 30s. And like we came together and we started writing music, like making songs, and he wanted to help me. And now, God bless his soul, man, he's one of the hardest working musicians I know. He has a thriving career. He's performing like 3-4 times a week. I mean, dude, I think those sessions are what shaped us during COVID, because he went one direction and I went one direction, because we were doing shows together. But at one point it was like, man, I don't want to be the fucking guy at the brewery with an acoustic guitar that I'm fighting just for hoping people are listening to my lyrics that I poured my heart and soul in while everyone's just getting drunk and glasses clinging, and you know, and you're fighting.
And no one's paying attention. They're all talking in their own conversations in their own world. Yep.
And then I could hear it because I would go live on my phone on like Facebook and Instagram, and then I'd hear the replay to see how I perform. And I'm like, man, these people are just having conversations about bullshit. They ain't even paying attention.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I was like, damn, like, how can I get past that? And the thing was, I had always loved funk music, man. I had always loved, and now we're going, because I've never really, your question really put me in a direction. I haven't really talked so much about this stuff ever. So this is like the first time it's really coming out. I never really expressed myself about this, but so one of the last shows I had at the brewery, I reached out to Ronnie King, who's the reason why I got a record deal back in 2009, because we linked up, and this is why I was doing reggae. Like we were doing reggae. The guy that I reached out to doing, we worked remotely on that song, A Beautiful Day. But there's this guy who's been like a legend, man. I'm getting the chills just thinking about it right now, how this all came together. Like really, like I've never really thought about it. Like I saw somebody and this on, and then I find this guy, DJ Tony G. And to me, DJ Tony G was like a legend to me ever since the 90s, when I was in junior high school, when I was buying cassette tapes and like certain songs. He was the pioneer of like La Raza, the Chicano music. And I was like, I'm Latino, man. I'm Chicano. I was so proud of that. Like, wow, I can't believe somebody that's not black, and it's not like somebody doing music for our people. And I always saw, because I was obsessed with that. I read who wrote, who was written by, who was produced by, and you always saw DJ Tony G, and it's like, who the fuck is this guy, DJ Tony G? And then all of a sudden, years later, now I'm a grown man, and it's like, holy shit, DJ Tony G's got an Instagram? Like, and I sent him a message, kind of just introducing myself, kind of like seeing a famous star, like, that's to me, producers were so much more important than the artists to me, man. Like the producers behind the records. And I had already worked with Ronnie, so that gave me credibility. And they went back together. They knew each other back from Easy E days, Record, Death Row Records. Like they all come from that era. So I'm like, shit, man, how can I? So I just reached out to Tony. I say, hey, Tony, if I reach out to Ronnie, man, and like, can we get a studio session together, bro? Like, would you, like, thinking like I might just, because Tony G had never heard of me before, you know? And Tony G's probably thinking, why is this guy, they're saying he's surf rocker and all that, why to work with the Chicano rap guy, Chicano pioneer guy? But they all agreed to it, man. And we all came to where I live now, out in Coachella. I remember I stayed in the hotel in Palm Desert. We had the dog. I remember it was starting to get hot already, but not yet. It was like, I think the session, it was like 117 degrees those days we were working. And we were in the session, and I'm playing guitar, and I'm thinking that's the direction we're going to go. And Tony G tells me, Dylan, like, not to be a dick, bro, but I'm not feeling anything you're playing.
Wow.
And I just spent 2 hours fucking around on guitar, man. This guy don't like nothing. Like, God damn, what's it take? Like, what's it take to please this guy?
Oh my God, did that almost kill your whole vibe when he said that?
Yeah, but he said something else. He said, why don't you just let me drive the car? You're trying too hard, bro. Let me just drive the car. And then he pops out his laptop and starts playing a bunch of instrumentals. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, holy shit, did this just happen? Tony G literally opening up his library to me. And that's when it clicked. It was like, because when I left, the last session that I had with Jaden and the last show that I had at the brewery, because like it was like, I didn't really make a big splash about it, but my inner circle knew, like, holy shit, Dylan's going to go work with Tony G. It was like a big deal, like, to some people. Because I told Jaden, I said, Jaden, you know, my songwriting guy said, Jaden, you know that I don't even listen to reggae music, bro? And he's like, well, then why do you play it? It's the only thing I know how to play in guitar.
Yeah.
And I said, that's why I want to work with Tony, bro. I want to make music that I'm not up. I feel like the guitar's holding me back. I want to be on stage. I want to be doing my thing.
Yeah.
And he said, well, then go get it, Dylan.
And we'll be right back. Okay, now back to the show. I think that you're even lucky that he even wrote you back when you sent him a message, when you reached out to him, you know? Like, think about like how many things could have prevented this whole thing from happening, because it was all meant to be.
We had to wait for that back. We had to wait to get, it was like we couldn't even do the session until we got vaccinated.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you had all these obstacles.
We were all worried. Like, nobody knew what the fuck was going on. So, like, Tony's like, well, I'm going to get my vaccination. And was like, boom. The day that I went down there, I got my vaccination that morning. Like, the day that I could get my vaccination, that was 100% devotion. Like, we're going to make this happen with Tony G and Ronnie King. And I even hired, Ronnie set me up with a dude that I kind of knew, but like he said he could video the whole thing. I wanted to make a documentary about it because I wanted to have something that if I never made music again,
yeah,
I got this documentary of me working with Tony G, Ronnie King, and like the documentary's sick. It's called the Coachella Sessions. I put it out back when we worked together. We ended up doing a song called "It's a Vibe," but the thing was, the first song that Tony showed me ended up being that song for Whipping Down the Strip on Sunset. It was the first song. And I said, I want to do that one. And they're like, bro, you're like a surf rock guy. We got to keep it like, they want just, and it's like, bro, didn't I tell you I grew up on listening on your shit? Well, I just want you to let me do it. But like, it was this whole, because my publicist at the time were pitching me as this thing. And they wanted it to be tropical. You
had to reinvent yourself basically for them, right? Or
the funny thing about it was, though, we cut the record. My publicist at the time had been reaching out to radio station and they weren't giving them the time of day. I reached out to the radio station and said, hey, I got a brand new track that I just did with DJ Tony G. They said, send it over, we'll play it, right? Because it's like, who's from our hometown even worked with DJ Tony G? Like, I don't want to say I'm one of the original or first people, but I'm one of the few people that probably worked with DJ Tony G from my home area. And they played it. And then all of a sudden, my publicist, they threw warfare on me like I was messing up. I'm not following their lead. And I'm just like, well, I just got on the radio and then we all got in a virtual meeting together. And my publicist's assistant is chewing me out like in front of like, while we're all sitting in this thing waiting for jazz, like that I'm not following rules and I'm bypassing this. And I'm like, well, if y'all would have returned my email, it wouldn't have had to end like this, but y'all got a new client and you're all fuzzy about your new client. Y'all forgot about me and I just got on the radio. Y'all mad at me because I did your job for you? And I think that's what it came down to, that I was making shit happen without them. Publicists didn't want shit. And that's what I love about my publicist, Juan, because he knows that I'm always working and I'm always grinding. So it's like we just work well together. I'm not sitting around waiting for Juan to call me like, hey, I'm always doing something, because that's the way it's got to be. Because if you're sitting around waiting for a call, man, that call don't come. Call don't come. And so we cut the record. It's a Vibe. My publicist didn't know how to pitch me after that. Like, holy shit, because the song was really good and it was already getting play on the radio. And it was like, it kind of just fizzled out where like they didn't return my emails, they didn't return my calls. And then I got this nasty email said, maybe you'll feel comfortable at a smaller boutique agent. It was so rude. Like, dude, what did I ever do wrong to you? What really?
Well, they were mad that you were doing their job. It sounds like that they were pissed off about that. So, and
they started sleeping on me because they got a new client. And that's just okay. God works in funny ways, man. And it just made me realize I didn't need them. I didn't need them anymore.
Yeah.
And I started working with Ronnie. I wanted to get back in the studio because I wanted that song, that first one. I told Tony, like, we cut, it's a vibe, it's doing good. And I called Tony, can we get in the studio again, man? Like, I need you to give me that song, man.
Yeah.
I didn't have no lyrics to it or nothing.
Yeah. So tell me what your songwriting kind of, when you're thinking about a song, what is that process like?
It just all varies, man. A lot of the times it's just like the words just come. Like if it's a song that like sometimes like if it's something that I'm like, it all depends too. Like if it's just like automatic, it will come out automatic. Sometimes I gotta wait for the group to come. Sometimes I gotta some more pot. Sometimes I gotta, you know what I mean? Just get in that vibe. Like, but a lot of times, man, it just comes. Words just start coming. Like that song, like that song Whipping Down the Strip on Sunset, I literally finished that. By the time they went outside, left me with the music, and then they had came back from finishing the cigarette and they came back in. I said, the song's done.
I mean, a lot of good songs are quick like that, though. If you hear other artists in their interviews talking about it, like they'll like, oh, I did that in 10 minutes.
It was the easiest song I've ever done.
Yeah.
Right? It was the easiest song I've ever done.
And do you have like a notebook or something that you're keeping all these songs that you're like, one day I'll get to them?
I did, but now it's like if I started, I finish it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I have songs that like I can't live with myself because if I listen to it in the car and like I can't let a week go by. Like if it's something's bugging me and I'm listening to it in the car, like I'm gonna go home and fix it as soon as I get home. Like that's the thing I'm gonna do because I'm so nitpicky about with my songs, and especially once I started submitting songs for TV and film. I mean, the critiques, bro, can be like heartbreaking. Yeah. Like, oh God, damn, I was my best.
Yeah,
like it's like I heard an interview from Troy Aikman and Ed Milet on Ed Milet's podcast, and Troy Aikman was in his rookie season for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay,
he didn't win a single game. His whole first professional season. And he used to tell himself, like, what the fuck does it take to get a goddamn win in this league? Right?
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, goddamn. But it's like, you don't just, I've learned like to take criticism, and maybe it's the way I was raised, you know what I mean? Because I played sports and I was always, trying to do good. And there was always feedback and constructive criticism. But a lot of like, damn, I don't think they knew how much time I put into this song.
Yeah.
For them to just shoot it down, because who knows how many songs they're listening to that day, just going through one after another, like, no, don't like it, no, forward. But I've had some success. And I've had some success with the TV and film and publishing. But that critique, you can either let it break you down, or you can either let it help you help you improve.
Do you look at comments or you avoid it?
Nah, man, I don't really care, dude. I've had people fucking making fun of me ever since I was little. So it's just, I built up this thing where it's like, you want to, okay, say what you want about me, man.
Yeah.
I'm not really like, cause people will go out of their way to be a dick online. It's like I think about this, like politics right now. People talk all this shit online, but they would not.
Yeah, people are really brave. They're brave online, right?
Everyone's pretty brave online, man. That's why I had it when I dropped that video. Whipping Down the Street, when I dropped that song, I had literally some guy who was trolling me all night create like 6 or 7 fake accounts because I kept blocking them just to keep trolling the video. And I'm just like, the video must be that good if this thing pissed this guy off that much.
Yeah. And
it was just like, dude, I can't believe people go to that length. But that's weird, man. But people are like that, and that's what we live in. Like when I first started working with Ronnie, getting into real studios in 2009, Facebook had barely came out. Like Facebook came out like March of that year or something. Mm-hmm. Like, and it wasn't even like what Facebook, Facebook was like, you just write how you're feeling, your status, right?
What was the platform before Facebook?
MySpace, man.
MySpace, yes. And now it's a whole music thing, if it's even still around. I'm not even sure.
Around, yeah. But MySpace was such a pivotal platform for so many independent musicians back in the, like, from 06 to going into 09. The way I got discovered in Orange County, and this whole band and shows and everything came together, a promoter found my song on MySpace.
Wow, that's amazing.
reggae song that I happened to record with my friends, with not just me playing acoustic, but with my friends, and we all did it together in my friend's studio. And I thought I was going to be bigger than Sublime. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. The fact that I actually recorded a song and there was other instruments, and I was, oh my god! And the guy finds it and he's like, yeah, I think I can get you some shows, and that's how everything started, man. Shout out to Drew.
Yeah.
Drew, man, my Egyptian brother, man, out in Lake Forest, because he's the one that discovered my music. I was just before prior to that, man, I just had my guitar. I just had a dream. I was living by myself. I was working every day. And then to get that message on MySpace, like, hey, dude, I like your music, bro. Like, where are you from? Like, can you get some, like, oh, you're local. You want me to get you some shows? And literally that's how it happened, man. It's my one piece of advice to anyone. You never know where you could get the pivot to happen. So be open to everything.
Yeah.
And don't be such a dick that you block your own blessings, because there's blessings going around all the time. And if you're frustrated, you're all in your head. Like, you can't even see them, can't even be present. Like, feel the air, feel the sun, like, just like embrace shit. Because like, if I wasn't open like that, I probably would have missed it too. Or I probably was just, I don't know. It was different. I mean, people weren't spamming and all this crazy shit back then. It was all brand new technology to us. Man, shout out to Drew, because that's what started everything back then, man. When I just came from practically being homeless, moving with a couple garbage bags, sleeping on the floor until I got an air mattress, and working every day, and then getting that message to present day, man. Now, I don't know how much, like, I'm a little studio here, living in the desert, and like.
I want to ask you a question about DJ Tony G.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about if Eazy-E was still alive and you got a chance to perform with him, how awesome that would have been? I love Eazy-E. Like, I grew up with him. I grew up in Miami, so I grew up with Two Live Crew, but Eazy-E was definitely part of my whole soundtrack and stuff growing up. So, like, did you ever think about like what it would have been like, or what type of music he would have been making today?
I never thought about it, because everyone's life back then was cut so short in the music game, because people, I mean, back then was a really violent time. Like, when those guys, I was a part of conversations during those studio sessions with Ronnie and Tony G, with stories that I'll never let out to this day.
Yeah.
Oh, right here. But I got to experience it and hear it from the people themselves that were there.
That must be amazing.
And, one thing, that's what I have the utmost respect for Ronnie and Tony outside of music and working together. The fact that they felt comfortable and trusted me enough to be open and have those conversations. So for me to think like, wow, that's the kind of energy I bring, where people can just open up and talk about stuff that nobody's gonna hear again, like coming out of that ranch, coming out of those walls from the ranch, and that stuff to me, that's, we all want to pay our bills, dude. We all want to make money. Some of us want to be famous. Some just want to get by. You know what I mean? But like, honestly, for me, music is about moments like that.
Yeah.
For those situations, like three dudes, you know what I mean? It's 117 degrees and we're watching the sun and it's all purple in the mountains, and like, we're out there just three dudes, man. Like, we've known each other for our whole lives, and what's bringing us together? It's music. From all different backgrounds. I don't come from the streets from East Los, and but I still was a part of all that, and I didn't need to be accepted. I was accepted for who I am as a man, and that's
amazing.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back. Okay, and now back to the show. I want to ask you a little bit about, you've been really open about your kind of mental health, and how you said at the beginning of the conversation, it took you kind of 9 years to figure it all out. Talk to me about that, how you figured it out, and when, and I have to say, when people are open about their struggles and stuff, it helps other people. And do you ever take a moment to kind of think about how you're probably influencing people that are maybe going through what you went through, to give them hope? I mean, do you think about that, what you're doing?
Yeah, what you just said right now, that guy, the gentleman, Ed Milet, that I spoke about, he says that you're most qualified to help those with what you struggle with.
Yeah.
And throughout my 20s prior to 2009. See, 2009, right after I signed the record deal, I was hospitalized at a mental institution literally a week later, like 2 weeks afterwards, like a week after recording our next music. And I had been living, like, I want to say as far back as like maybe 22. Like, I want to say some trauma that happened. My family is what maybe triggered stuff that had maybe were dormant that never, but just that it happened. And, my mind just started acting a little weird, but I just kind of like kept it at bay, or I never talked to anybody about it. I was always a little crazier than everyone else, always the one making the crazy decisions to do things. I mean, shit, dude, I had 3 DUIs in my life, so nothing to brag about, but, I was always making bad decision after bad decision. And it wasn't even until like 2009 when I got hospitalized that I was in a complete psychosis, dude, wandering around Orange County, like a homeless guy, like a transient, but not even in my mind, bro. Like like paranoid delusions, thinking somebody's gonna kill me. Like it was the scariest thing that I ever experienced in my freaking life. And when I finally came to in the mental hospital and I woke up in a sane mind, I realized like, oh man, this has been going on for years. I just used to be able to control it more. This one got out of control. And that psychosis probably was for like deterioration of my mental health for about 5 weeks until I ended up in the mental hospital. And prior to that, I just got done. I had read Law of Attraction. I read The Power of Now. I was like really doing a lot of studying about Bob Marley. And, I was in a really good place before all that happened. I thought like all the mental health craziness was gone, but somehow it started coming back again when I was living out there in Newport Beach by myself. And, I lived solo many times, by myself, but that time it started, I started hanging out with friends and making friends and, drinking a little bit more than I should and hanging out with people and having a good time. But I didn't realize that I was like just kind of on a decline until the point where it's like, oh my God, everywhere I go, somebody's talking about me. Oh my God, my neighbors like just really freaking paranoid to the point where it was like, it was out of control where I'm hearing voices and everything was gone. And then I get hospitalized. I get out, I'm on medication. I get out of the hospital. I'm like, okay, all those times prior, all that hallucination shit was fake. I got to convince myself that everything that I've been dealing with the last 5 weeks, no matter how convinced and fucked up it was not real. That's the fucking hard part, is like telling yourself it wasn't fucking real. And I still get flashbacks to this day, PTSD kind of shit, that of stuff that happened or shit that like I'm paranoid about, like fuck, like you don't fucking 100% heal from this shit. And you have wounds from stuff, not only just from like my mental health stuff, but from like childhood and then, things that happened when my brother tried killing him. It's like just so much shit that happened, going to jail my senior year of college, like just so much shit dealing with, like, so it all finally came to its head in 2009. Just like God put the brakes on and boom,
And do you think that it influenced your music?
It did, because the song that I was writing, me and Ronnie cut our first record called High Tide. The record label offered me a record deal the very next day after we cut that record. So we were coming back in the studio to cut more songs. And the record label told me, you got to fucking dig deep, bro.
Yeah.
Take some mushrooms, do some shit, bro, and really tap in and fucking, we're going all in on you. So you got a record label telling you some shit like that. They're telling you to go fucking take some mushrooms, and you're already not fucking sane, you're already kind of on your rocker as it is. I started going into this song and it's so crazy. I listened to it yesterday. It's so scary. Even the music to it sounds so scary. It's called Freedom Fighter. And I thought it was going to be the biggest song in the world. I thought I was saving humanity, but I was already gone. But that's where my mind was working. Every line for line, that song, I wrote it as if it had to be the best lyric in the world. And that literally, if you listen to that song, you listen as if you're hearing a guy crying for his soul. You're hearing a guy cry for help. Like he's at, because when we're in there recording and Ronnie didn't understand what the song, we're in there jamming and I'm singing and Ronnie's like, and this is the crazy part. We had the MTV was there, Los Fabulosos Cadillacs, the MTV Latin video awards were going on in LA. It was a packed studio. There was a lot of people and everyone came to see me work.
Wow.
And I'm hallucinating. I'm on on a whole other thing. And Ronnie's like, dude, what's the song about, bro? Are you throwing your life off a cliff? Like, I don't understand and it was like, wow. Like, I think now I'm like, God damn, it must have been scary for them too. Like, where's the fucking guy's mind state?
Yeah.
And that song really threw me over the fucking edge, man. I lost my mind trying to write the best song that I thought I could. And it's really a song about a guy writing about losing his mind.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, man.
So tell me what you have coming up next. Like, what's your plans? Like, you seems like you've got a lot of success. You've worked with people that you respect and that you like. Seems like you're having fun doing it too. So what do you have coming up in the near future that you're excited about?
Well, I was having a couple of health issues, so they took me off work. I was working full time as a driver for a medical company, visiting patients, and I started getting these dizzy spells where I thought I was going to collapse. They told me it was hypotension where the blood flow wasn't going to and I was fasting at the time a lot. I was really working out hard and training and not really eating as much as I should because I was trying to cut down on the weight. And I guess I was just having, I don't know, they were trying to say it's my mental health medications. I got my other doctor saying get my heart checked out. So basically they took me off work to figure out what's going on with me. I'll say right now, I'm doing a lot better that I got some time off from work. I realized how much I don't want to go back to working full time. And I created my own digital Koala Drive digital media services company, which I'll be doing content creation for people, doing targeted marketing, doing their marketing, like running people's social media, businesses, artists.
Awesome.
I already have my first clients going to be Ronnie King of all people that I'm going to be helping get his all content dialed in. And with times right now, the way they're going forward, dude, it's hard to predict what the hell is going to go on.
Yeah.
And, from day to day, it's so fucking crazy. But in an ideal world, while I was off, I ended up finding a new producer. I ended up like cutting a 10-song album with this new producer within a span of a month and a half. And I'm dropping the first single next Friday called Love Is True. And this guy's like, this guy, like, it was like, I was like so happy. I was like, finally, I found a guy that understands the music that I want to do. And he has like, this is the way I pitched him. It wasn't even about an album. I said, hey, I got this opportunity. I got this film. They're looking for some songs, some funk songs. You got some great funk music. Do you mind collaborating? Like, I use your music. I do the lyrics. I record everything. I submit it. If we get something, we split 50-50. And he was the first producer that said, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there was this funk opportunity for like 80s and 70s music. And I was just writing songs, as many songs as I could to submit. Little to behold, I was like, damn, I wish I didn't slap them together. I wish I would have really made each individual one really good. Note to self, the feedback and everything you get from those submissions. I was like, okay, now I know what I need to do to get it at that level. So,
a learning experience, right?
Yeah, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna put out. I got a song coming out on Black Friday. It's a Christmas song. It's a funk song. It's called Christmas Funk. I got the second single off the project I'm gonna drop with this producer coming out on New Year's Eve called "This the Rhythm of the Ocean," and then probably drop the album. Or maybe I'll drop one more single on Valentine's Day, a breakup song on Valentine's Day, and then drop the project probably in March, maybe on the anniversary of my brother's passing, because the project's called Regardless of the Circumstances.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, you have an amazing energy, and I can tell that you love what you're doing and you love music, and that's just like I can feel the energy of how positive you are about how much you love music. And so I want everyone that's listening to the podcast, go out. I will drop the links, and so you can listen to Dylan's music. So go out, listen to his music, follow him on Instagram. And are you on anything else besides
Instagram? The TikTok's growing little by little daily. Yeah, I got my YouTube. I got a good following on YouTube, man. I got a different audience to cater to each different platform.
Yeah.
Like a weird. That's what I was asking you. What platform? You know, when I was asking you about your what platform, it's the same thing with like when you're posting. One thing will do great on TikTok and
Yeah.
YouTube, but it won't. You know, it all depends on what the algorithm's going to do. Do we really even fucking control it? Probably
We
not.
don't. We don't.
Yeah, right. I know.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll put something on YouTube and it gets like 16,000 follow or looks, and I'm like, how did that even happen? And then I'll put something else the next week and it gets like 300. So it just, you never know what you're going to
Never know.
get.
You just never know. Yeah.
Well, I loved interviewing you. You're an amazing artist.
Yeah, it was great talking to you, Jack. Thanks, man.
So happy that you, I don't know, you just have, like I said, you have an awesome and good energy and a good vibe. And I hope everybody goes out and listens to your music. So,
Can I just say one thing before we go, man?
yeah,
For you guys
sure.
listening, man, thank you for taking the time to listen to me talk with Zach and share a little bit about my story. I just want to say, you know, we all struggle with something, whether it's mental health or we all got something going on, man. I just say, man, like, if your friend was going through something like that, once you give them a hug, give yourself a hug, man. Give yourself some compassion. We're always so compassionate for other people, but we can't even be compassionate for ourselves. And don't be the opposite. Don't be one of those people that holds everybody accountable, but you can't even hold yourself accountable. So
Yeah, that's
best,
true.
you know, two opposite worlds, man.
Yeah. I wish everybody was a little more kind to each other and kind to themselves. So I'm with you.
Yeah, man. Because this world, I mean, now that people want to use, there's so many things that people are using as excuse just to be a dick. Like, don't be
Yeah.
a dick, man.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. I'm with you. I am so with you.
don't be one of those people that's talking all this game on social media, but you would never say that shit in public.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you get your ass whooped.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm with you. I'm so with you with it. So I hope this world becomes a little bit better soon. So
I do, man. I'm really like, I'm really perplexed by it. Like, I don't know exactly how. I know music always heals everything.
yep.
It's really tried hard because I've been working on songs about this stuff. It's just really trying to fucking find the right words that are gonna fucking heal that situation because
Yeah.
the situation is really fucked up.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing because, like I said, you got an amazing, good, positive energy, and people can feel it, or I could feel it. Even talking with you for 45 minutes, it's all there. So keep making music and keep making the world happy. So,
Yeah, man.
all right. Thanks so much for being on, Dylan. It's been great to talk with you.
Great chat with you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.